And we are live. Yes. Ferris is here. He has to announce that
And
first thing as soon as I hit
how
live.
else would you know?
What's going on, Ferris?
Nah, man, just chilling, man. Wearing my Carolina blue
Oh,
or
okay.
blue for Carolina because this is actually Kentucky blue, but that's not the point.
All right, listen. Typically we do live streams after both Ravens and Panthers games or Ravens games, but it's a Monday night game and the Panthers they played a close game, but they lost. It came up a little short, 20-17 to the Saints. Listen, man. Obviously, I kind of caught parts of the later of the second half. I was doing the live stream with Coach and Chris and Mikey, but Chris Olave killed y'all, and I just think you man, like it's just a slow start, It's a slow start. I know that you guys are kind of limited on offense, but what you did to get the touchdown at the end, and even in the drive before where you got the field goal, you should be trying to, I don't know, push the ball a little bit more that way.
They don't have the protection to push the ball downfield.
I know.
And they don't really have the receivers to make it happen consistently. Because even Jonathan Mingo, he made a nice play to get them down there by the goal line, even though he turned around and ran the wrong direction out of bounds. He just, he had a couple drops earlier in the game. Like he's not consistent. He's not consistent enough. I mean, I to be fair, I think most of the wide receivers are still banged up. I don't think they're 100%. DJ Chark made his debut tonight. Haven't seen any of Terrace Marshall. Jay, there he is. Jay. Adam Thielen put in a better performance tonight than he did in week one. Miles Sanders is a good solid piece on the offense, but they've got to work out the protection, and they've just got to improve the weapons around Bryce. Yeah. And you can see on his face, like, not that he's like breaking or anything, but it's kind of, he looks frustrated every time he walks off the field now, because he's running for his life. There's drop passes, there's missed throws. They're just not clicking. It just hasn't come together yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, there's a couple of plays that he could have putting this banner up. Give me a second here. It's 2017. That was the final score. Yeah. Look, they I mean, yes. There's going to be some growing pains with him. There are some plays where it's just like clearly he's a rookie, but yeah, man, the game was there. The defense, kept you in the game. Yeah, you just don't have it. Yeah, like that. I mean, this is what it comes down to. Like, there's really nobody on that offense that you're expecting to step up and make some Chris Olave type plays because Derek Carr did not play.
Olave.
Huh?
You didn't have to say Chris Olave. You could have gone with Tyreek Hill.
Well,
you could have gone with some other receiver who didn't
no.
just do that to Carolina.
Because Derek Carr looked terrible, right? The difference is Chris Olave and Mike Thomas, right? Like those players that can make those type of catches. Carolina doesn't have those players. That's really the only difference in the game.
Elevated Derek Carr.
Yes. Jay is so ridiculous because, like, if it's not a person that Jay personally loves, they'll make one mistake and he'll be like, yo, they ass. But TMJ hasn't done anything in 2+ years. And he's like, I still believe he can be good.
Hey, look who it is. What's up, Darren? Thanks for coming through, man.
What up,
Appreciate
Darren?
you. And Tanja's in the house. Salute to Tanja. Said Bryce did better this game. Yeah.
Right, man, look.
The mascara man. Who's the mascara man? Oh, Derek Carr. Sorry.
Yeah, Deadeye Derek. I feel for Bryce. He's doing the best he can out there. I mean, not that he's,
yes, Jimmy,
he's,
you were
he's
first.
perfect or anything like that, but he's playing well, and they're looking to him to carry the offense when it's his second start, and you shouldn't be looking to a player in their second game to carry your offense.
Ferris, what did you think of the game? Did you watch the whole thing, or were you too busy with Starfield?
I'll tell you what,
Well-
he
well-
definitely wasn't busy. He wasn't killing nobody.
Hey, wow. You know what? Just like the receivers wasn't catching anything, and your lineman couldn't block.
40 to
Okay.
nothing. Man.
That was 2 weeks ago. Get over it. All right. I'm already over it. You get
No,
over
you're
it.
not.
Yeah,
you know
I am
how
over it.
you know how I know you're not?
How?
Because you paused.
Shut up. Yeah, games like that you can't get over. I'm sorry, you can't.
There's
Can't
no
do
such
it,
thing as
bro.
getting over.
Dude, that game is
I
gonna
saw
go down in
Caleb
history.
go in on you for like an hour and a half.
I would honestly, bro. I was close to be like, no, we're not doing the show today.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about what Carolina needs in a minute. But Ferris, what do you would you make of this game?
No, what making this game is that you can clearly see that Bryce was drafted into the worst situation in the sense that the other two quarterbacks that are drafted in the top 5 have a weapon that's really important that no one really talks about. Houston's offensive line has Laramie Tunsil and a couple of good guards and a serviceable right tackle. And then Anthony Richardson was drafted in Indianapolis, who have Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, and Braden Smith on that offensive line. So 3 of the 4 are all pro to Pro Bowl-ish players. You know, Braden Christian is probably like the top 5 right tackle, and Quentin Nelson, top 5 guard. Ryan Kelly's probably like the second best center or the first best center in the league. And then in Carolina, they have Taylor Moton.
And also they drafted Tank Dell for CJ Stroud. And the Colts have Michael Pittman and
Josh
Alex
Downs
Pierce and Josh Downs, who they just drafted. And in Carolina, they used a 3rd round pick. They traded up to use a 3rd round pick on DJ Johnson, who has yet to be active. He's a healthy scratch because he can't play.
Yeah, and they also got Jonathan Mingo, who sometimes with Ole Miss receivers, it could be buyer beware. You could hit and get DK Metcalf or AJ Brown, or you get Laquan Treadwell and DeMarcus Lodge. So we don't know yet. But we'll figure it out in a year and a half, because nowadays receivers, they kind of catch up to speed very quickly. But yeah, what showed me is Bryce is what he is. I've always known him to be a good leader. He's not too down. He's not too low. He had the same face when I was watching the second half. Brodny said he looked like he was going to cry. Probably.
He looked a little sad.
Yeah, he looked a little sad, but he kept that face the entire half. That means then he was probably sad the entire half. But I believe in this kid. I believe Carolina made the right pick, because I get that Anthony Richardson is, the alien, the freak, the blah, 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 the whatever, and, all that jazz. But I think Bryce Young I just believe him. I just really believe in this kid. And I think Carolina, they're completely right. And I think
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think, you had a guard, a tackle here and there. I think you can solidify this offensive line because you have solid pieces. You got Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen, he's lost his speed, but he still has some route running to his ability. DJ Chark's a burner, but he's kind of, he hasn't been able to stick at places because people realize like you just run fast. Like that's how you really do. Like I need you to catch something. I need you to run a route. If you're just running fast, it's pretty easy just like, play off of you and have some safety up and you're done. You can't really beat nobody else. So, and Frank Reich, big fan of Frank Reich. One of the main reasons Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate. I think he's going to develop him very nicely.
Yeah, I think that Stroud and Richardson are both very, very talented, and they're both going to do very well where they ended up. But, the thing that Bryce has is his intelligence. And you can see already he's a good decision maker. And not to say that those other guys aren't, but that's the thing that you look for in your quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he makes quick, good decisions, and he's accurate with the ball. Now, the situation around him has to get better. And once it does, I think that the offense will really take off. But it just doesn't look good right now because, Houston is a little more built up, and as are the Colts. So those guys are able to kind of hit the ground running a little bit more. And Anthony Richardson in particular, you're always going to, when you're the most athletic quarterback to ever play the position, you're always going to be able to fall back on that. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Bryce, he's an okay athlete, but he's not really a runner. So, he's relying on his smarts, to move the ball and to score points. And right now, he can't really rely on the protection. He can't really rely on the receivers. So it doesn't matter if he's making the right decision and making the right throw if guys aren't open and guys aren't catching the ball, or he's under pressure before he can even get the ball out.
But
he had some juice on the scramble. And he slid before anyone got near him because that makes a smart decision. Don't take the hits. The hits is what, the hits is what takes QBs out. Like for a year, everyone was like Robert Griffin III is going to take over the league, and then the hits came. Then that Ravens game where he destroyed his knee, and then the Seahawks playoff game permanently whacked it forever. The hits, man. Don't take the hits.
Shout out to K Wick 556 says, "Welcome to Frank Reich era. Sincerely, a Colts fan." Okay, all right.
The problem with the Frank Reich era in Indianapolis, y'all had no quarterback. Yeah. But when y'all gave him Phillip Rivers for a year, y'all almost beat the Bills in the playoffs. Because Phillip Rivers couldn't pass for more than 10 yards.
Yeah. K Wick, B's a Panthers fan. I'm a Ravens fan. We gonna see y'all next week. What are they saying about Anthony Richardson? Is he gonna play or not?
He's in the concussion protocol, so
we'll see. It's kind of a wait and see.
But the problem I'm having with this Panthers team, and again, like there's only so much you can do. Like I mean, they kind of inherited a bad situation. It's going to take another year to really clean it up. But you didn't go for the most athletic quarterback, right? You went for just a solid athlete, but you went for who you thought was the smartest. And that's fine, but you got to give that guy time in the pocket, or you got to get him some plays where he gets the ball off his hands quicker. Because too many of these plays, I see that it's taking too long for it to develop, and he's holding to the ball way too long. The drive where he fumbled the ball, he should not have been holding on to the ball for that long for him to fumble, right? You need to develop some quicker plays to get the ball out of his hands faster. They can't protect him. A player like that, you don't want him to lose confidence or start second guessing himself, because that's his strength, right? His IQ, right? So you want to kind of hone in on that and just say, hey, look, we're just going to keep it short, or we'll get the ball out, 1-2, throw whatever. The route should be there. And it's just not there right now. So, I mean, I don't know what they can do this season. I mean, play through it, try to make whatever trades you can, but that O-line, that protection has to be fixed.
Yeah, and that's the thing about, wanting to get the ball out quicker. It's not just about, the plays that you call, right? Because they have to be able to execute. I mean, they had several plays, like they would throw screens and things like that and try to get the ball out quick, get it to playmakers, but you don't really have the guys who can make the plays, and the defense doesn't really respect the offense, so they're really sitting right on top of everything, right? And he does throw the ball. He does check it down. Like, they make a big deal about that with Lamar. They used to with Cam as well, not taking the check down. He does that all the time. But, hey, if you throw it to Miles or you throw it to Chuba or you throw it to Hayden and you gain 3 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, that last drive, not the very last drive, but I mean, I guess their last drive when they were going down and scored a touchdown. We were streaming over on Suge Night 323, and they're asking me, "Oh, do you think they can do it?"
1,
they're
2,
down.
3.
No,
that's Twitch.
Yeah. They're people are asking me, "Oh, do you think they can do it?" There's 2.5 minutes left. I'm like, no, because they're down 11 points, and they're going 2, 3, 4 yards at a time, and I'm like, at this rate, it's going to take them 18 years to score, because they can't get the ball downfield consistently. But like you said, it's a combination of a lot of things right now.
Protection or receivers not getting open down the field.
It's both. It's both. I mean, and it's not one thing every play, but it's a combination of both of those things. And it's not going to change until, look, the O-line is young. It's very young. And one of their starters is out in Austin Corbett. And Brady Christensen missed tonight as well. But it's also just not the best talent. And the Saints do have a good defense. I don't want to discount that. But they desperately need to upgrade the weapons around them. And that's why I was upset about them trading DJ Moore, right? Because you had this era with Cam where you just didn't have any talent around Cam, really, right? They tried. They drafted Kelvin Benjamin. They drafted Devin Funchess. Those guys didn't really work out. You had Cam in the playoffs throwing it to Kalen Clay against the Saints one year, right? You had him the year he dragged them to the Super Bowl. It was Ted Ginn and Jericho Cotchery, and so it wasn't good. And then, but they kept trying, and they got DJ Moore, and they got Christian McCaffrey, and they got Curtis Samuel, right, to go along with Greg Olsen. And that was right around the same time that Cam broke down with his shoulder injury, and he never really got right after that. So we didn't really get to see Cam with that team, right? And so Cam's shoulder goes, then Cam's gone, and you don't have a quarterback, and you can't take advantage of those guys. So you trade Christian McCaffrey. You let Curtis Samuel go walk in free agency. You trade DJ Moore to get your quarterback, and now you're back to square one. You don't have anybody around him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, man. They traded the next year's first round pick. Made some bad decisions led up to the point where they had to trade their pick to get Bryce Young. They did what they had to do.
My thing would have been this, man. Either you get DJ Moore and I keep my pick, or you get that pick and I keep DJ Moore. You're not having one and both.
What up, Chris?
What's up, Chris?
I guess Scott Fitterer was like, you can have both. I would be like, nah, Ryan, that's not the way it is.
Right.
Oh, look who's here. Warbone talking a lot of trash. He says, hello, guys. You still think Young is going for 3,700 yards? Yeah. I think he'll get that. But let me ask you this, though.
It's the NFL, man. You can get 3,000 yards by just blinking. You're good.
So he's a Cowboys fan, and he made a prediction. Listen, Warbone, do not deflect, because we have it written down. Okay, you said 4,200 yards for Dak, not 4,200, 4,700 yards, I believe you said. 42 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. You still think Dak's going for 42 touchdowns? He's got 2 so far,
and he's got 398 yards, mind you.
So yeah, not 398 yards, not far off from Bryce Young.
Oh, he said 4,500.
He said 4,500. 4,500 yards.
That's what he's saying.
Okay.
4,500.
4,500. I have it written down. It's in the studio. You did say 42 touchdowns. I know that. 42 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So, all right.
But I see why he's questioning it, because Dak is currently on pace for under 3,400 yards. So he's like, it's impossible.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, it's going to be some growing pains this year, but I think you're going to see this team progress on the offensive side. They have to figure it out. Protection is the biggest thing. Iquanu, man. How'd you feel about Iquanu tonight, B?
I didn't really focus in on him. The whole line wasn't playing great. But
I saw a couple plays
and watch. He got sacked 4 times. He got pressured a lot more than that. So I assume he didn't have a great game. But I would have to go back to watch him specifically.
Yeah, man. I guess Carolina and New York made a bad decision on their tackle selection last year.
I don't want to throw away Iquanu yet, but he's definitely got some. He's got some work.
I'm ready to throw away Evan Neal.
It's too early.
Well, yeah. When did you draft Evan Neal?
Last year.
Yeah, no, too early for that. Too early for that.
He actually played well against Arizona, but it's Arizona, so
yeah.
Him and Marcus McCathan, but
Hey, Warbone, did you tell us about Dak throwing for 199 yards a game, or did you say he was going to go for 4,500? Which one of those did you say?
Changing it up, man.
He is all trash. Yeah, no, it's early in the season still. It's tough going down 0-2 in your division. But still a long season ahead. Like this, this Saints team did not look great for the time that they had. No. Derek Carr, and I thought Derek Carr was a better quarterback than this. He looked bad.
That's not what I asked you, Warbone. You don't know how to answer questions?
You say Dak will have better. No, he doesn't. He's going to deflect. He's going to have better than Lamar. Okay. All right. He won't, but listen, you can talk all the trash. Just show up at the end of the season, because a lot of trash talkers when it's time to settle up their bets. And, you didn't bet us anything. We put everything on the line, but they tend to disappear.
Yeah.
But we know where to find you. We're subscribed to you, Warbone.
We know where you live.
Yeah. So yeah, but I don't want to make this about the Cowboys. You know, they do this every year. They start out hot. I believe in Dak too. You know, I'm a Dak apologist, and Dak always lets me down. Right. So no, we're not going down that road. 9 interceptions is not happening. And listen, you might have to put something online for that to make that bold of a prediction. He's definitely throwing for more than 9 interceptions. I would say almost double that.
I won't say it'll be that bad, but
18 interceptions. How many you have last year?
He had a lot of interceptions last year.
But
it's a different year.
He led the league even though he missed 4 games.
Yeah, but it's a different year. It's a different year.
5 games.
He had 15 interceptions last year. 15 interceptions. Like I mean, come on. All right. So back to the game. Who do the Panthers play next week?
Next week, I believe, is Seattle. That's the thing why I said this is a must-win game, because their schedule does not get easier.
Seattle stuff.
They have a good shot, or a shot at going 0-6 with the schedule that they have here. Let me pull it up. I'm pretty sure it's Seattle next week.
Watch the Bears get pick 1 and 2.
Yeah, so it's at Seattle, then home for Minnesota, at Detroit, at Miami, and then the bye.
Minnesota is always a game to give up a game they shouldn't.
But the problem is they can score, and Carolina can't.
Yeah. Chris wants to know, B, what's up with the Panthers backfield? I asked this as a sad Miles Sanders owner.
I mean, there's nothing. Miles is fine. It's just when you're losing, you're not gonna be running all the time. And they like to mix in Chuba. And I don't know why you're sad as a Miles Sanders owner. I don't know what you were expecting.
Yeah. I'm sore with Jay. Look, they're looking bad right now, but it was a close game. They could have easily won that game. Right. 0-2 can still turn it around. I don't think anybody in this division is going to run away with it. I don't. I think you can compete down to the wire for that division. You're not looking great right now. I think that there has to be a couple of moves, 1 or 2 moves that you gotta make by trade deadline to really get it going on offense. The defense is there, I think.
The defense ain't really there. They've played 2 teams who aren't great offensively. Those teams have talent, right? But they don't. Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback, and New Orleans is very poorly coached, and Derek Carr didn't play great, right? And the thing is about losing these 2 games, they're essentially 3 down in division to the Falcons and the Saints. They haven't played Tampa yet, obviously, but they can't tie those teams. They have to be better than them, so they're 3 down. And when you're not great, that's really tough to make up.
Also, too, that defense, that back end is it's hurt, young, and bit inexperienced. So,
even when they're not hurt, they're just not that good. Yeah. You got J.C. Horn is the only, decent corner on the team. Really, like Dante Jackson, he's been up and down throughout his career, and he's coming back from a torn Achilles. So you don't really expect him to be
same speed as he was.
Yeah, you don't expect him to be in his top form. Mm-hmm. I like their safeties, but they're very, very shorthanded in the cornerback room. Shaq Thompson missed the game.
Got hurt. Yeah.
It's just they're very, very thin. The defense has some talent on it, but it's not like it's not a overly talented defense, and they're not. I don't think they're going to be able to hold up even the level of play that they have through the first couple of weeks if the offense can't get going.
Okay, Wick says he lives in South Carolina trying to decide between the Colts-Falcons or Colts-Panthers game to go to.
I'll go Colts-Falcons just because you're going to Atlanta anyway, so, have fun.
Yeah, but you'll never get out if you're flying.
Well, no, flying into Atlanta, you're good. Flying out of Atlanta,
that's what I said. You'll never get out.
That's true. But he's in South Carolina, so he'll probably drive.
Yeah. Good point. But the Panthers are right there.
It's true. That's a good point. Damn, man. Well, thank God I didn't have that Atlanta horror story that Coach had. Sheesh.
Speaking of Coach,
Yeah. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, I hear these amazing these horror stories about Atlanta airport. That never happened to me, man. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yeah. Oh, okay, 2-hour drive for you, man. Just go see the Panthers, man. Go see the Panthers. MDT Sports, what's going on? Says Atlanta QB overrated. Who's rating him?
Yeah, no one's calling him anything. Yo, MT.
Yeah, he's not overrated. He's properly rated. He's terrible.
Yeah, let me tell you something about how bad that dude is. During Atlanta, when they would cut to Atlanta's training camp footage, they never showed the quarterbacks ever. They didn't. Like, literally, dude. Like, we didn't like nothing, because they know he stinks. We know he stinks. Everyone knows he stinks. And he's literally living off of the talent around him. He has probably one of the.
Yes, his parents overrate him.
Yeah, his parents probably. Dude, he has probably like if you're projecting, he has probably the most skilled position group in the NFL, bro. If everyone pans out the way people say he is, like, apparently they have LeBron James at tight end is what he was called in the draft. Drake London was receiver 1 or 2 in his draft. People preferred him over Garrett Wilson. Some people did.
They treat him like Jerome James, though.
Yeah, exactly. And then, they have Bijan Robinson in the backfield. He has a Ferrari. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to crash it more than once. So I got to say.
Now, I will say this, and Warbone's alluding to it in the chat. The good thing for Carolina is coming out of their bye, they can run off 6 straight, because you've got Houston, Indy, Chicago, Dallas, Tennessee, and Tampa. And we all know that Dallas they have a very problematic history when it comes to Carolina.
Tampa, you want to talk about put yourself in a tough position. Jeez.
Man.
And man,
what are you doing winning games? What are you doing winning games?
Yeah, man, you're not gonna
Baker trying to save his career.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mike Evans is trying to show them that you're gonna give me my money.
Mike Evans is trying to sabotage them on his way out.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that we always talk about with tanking. And everyone's like, oh,
it doesn't work.
Players don't tank. Oh no, it works. Players don't tank. I guarantee you they're trying to win. Yeah, they are trying to win, and they're playing as hard as they can, which is why you give that job to Kyle Trask.
Mm-hmm.
Not Baker Mayfield.
Yep. Yo, Malik B, when you said I live in Atlanta, he ain't lying. Are you talking about the airport, or are you talking about how garbage Desmond Ridder is? I want to know which one.
Wow.
Because I want to know because we talk about the airport and him. So like, Brodny's correct. Teams don't tank, coaches don't tank, players don't tank, organizations tank. The GM should have told Todd Bowles, "Hey, Kyle Trask is the quarterback." But then when you declare him the quarterback, everyone knows what the game is. Yeah. Everyone knows what the game plan is. QB, thank you, Malik. I was right. But here's the thing about Todd Bowles too. Todd Bowles has already been in this situation. People forget. He did tank with the Jets. He did lose with the Jets.
Yeah.
They fire him and they bring in Sam Darnold and they give Adam Gase the job. So Todd Bowles this is his second time around the sun, and he does not give a god darn about. He's like, I listened to an organization,
they said, don't
and then
worry
they
about
fired
it.
me.
Yeah.
And then they fired me. I don't care. Baker, you're playing, and we're gonna win games. And if they fire me, they're gonna fire me because I won and they didn't want to win. And everyone's gonna know that they wanted to lose, and it wasn't because of me. Because he did that with the Jets, and the Jets basically told him like, "Hey, I know you." He rebuilt them. The Jets were playing good football. He needed a quarterback, and they're like, "We're about to give you this quarterback, but you're fired, and Adam Gase is coming in." And Mr. Crazy Eyes on cocaine ruined the Jets.
Yeah,
all that hard work Todd Bowles did, they were actually looking good. All that hard work he did, destroyed in one season.
Yeah.
Because the guy has the job because Peyton Manning said, "Oh, I like working with him." Kiss my ass.
Tom wants to know how Bryce Young did. Let's pull up his numbers real quick. Bryce Young, 22 of 33, 66%, 153 yards and a touchdown. QB rating of 89.8. So
and 34 yards rushing.
And 34 yards rushing. Correct.
And correct. A lost fumble. Yeah. Which turned out to kind of be the difference in the game.
Yeah. Yes. Not great, but not bad.
It's
Not
The,
bad.
pretty
the,
bad
num- the
for-
numbers aren't good. If you watch him play, he looks like he can play.
Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely.
he got the
That's really
juice,
what it
man.
comes down to.
He got the juice. Bryce got the juice, man. I'm a big fan of this kid.
You look.
Been a big fan of him since high school, man.
You gotta have. I mean, you have. I thought this your skill positions would be playing better than they are. Right. I thought Adam Thielen. I didn't think he was completely washed. I thought Chark would contribute. I thought Jonathan Mingo would contribute early on, right? And we talked about Hayden Hurst. I thought Hayden Hurst is a solid tight end, but nobody's good, right? Like you have guys that
Thielen
like
lost his speed. His speed is gone.
Like you can look at all those guys and say, well, yeah, okay, they're solid. They can give you a little something, but there's nobody that you look at and say he's good. And you need to have at least one good person.
The problem is that I told y'all about Hayden Hurst. He's not good. He's a backup tight end. But
and I say
the thing is, you said he was a starter. He's not a starter. But the thing is that that's because we're bad. But
for the Bengals.
The problem is that they were looking for DJ Chark to be that guy.
Yeah.
And he's not that guy.
He's just fast. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all he is. Like,
and
I've never seen
him.
Him
really wild is DeAndre Hopkins was just available.
But that's the thing, right? I mean, because you off Ferris, but
no, you good, man.
That's the thing I had to put on, Frank Reich and Fitterer. Yes, you had what's his face to put you in a hole. What's his name over in Nebraska now?
Matt Rule
made a lot of poor decisions for the team, but you brought these guys in, right? Like there are better choices to be made out there, and you decided on DJ Chark, you decided Adam Thielen, you know what I'm saying? You decided Hayden Hurst. So I mean, like you assembled these guys in with a plan, and like honestly, with the coaching staff that you put together, I just didn't question it. I was just like, man, you have a lot of quality coaches on that staff.
Frank Reich, Deuce Staley. You know
what
I mean?
Yeah. Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you telling me Caldwell and Reich on the same offensive staff?
So I figured,
yo.
Yeah, I figured they, they have a plan. And maybe listen, it's only 2 games, so maybe it comes together. But man, like you need more. You need more than that.
I'm not
correct, man. Hopkins was a free agent for months.
Yeah,
he ended up in Tennessee.
So he didn't care about winning or playing with a good quarterback.
Yeah,
so he definitely could have signed him.
Exactly, man. Because here's the thing, man. He ends up having to call teams. Like that's when you know it's like, bro. It's like I've been unemployed for a bit. I'm gonna start calling some of these teams. That's when you probably can get a good deal out of them, because if you start calling teams, you could, probably get them on the cheap a little bit, not fully cheap, but a little bit, not his full asking price. And you didn't do it. A lot of teams didn't do it. Like a lot. Like you telling me DeAndre Hopkins is now calling teams. That means he's a tad bit desperate. So I can probably get him on the cheap. So if I just call him, I'll probably get him if I wanted to. And no one did it. Yeah. And then, Tennessee's like, hey man, we got rid of AJ Brown 3 years ago, but we're trying to finally replace him. You want to join us? I'll give you Ryan Tannehill. And he's like, oh, I've played with TJ Yates. Ryan Tannehill's good enough for me. I don't care.
Yeah. And I don't really question the coaching staff in Carolina. I think they did put together a good staff, and I think given time, they'll do good work there. But the person that I question in Carolina is Fitterer.
Yeah.
And I don't know how other Panthers fans feel about him, but I just don't know why. I don't know any reason why we should believe in Fitterer, right? I know he sucks at trades. I know that. He gets killed in every trade they do.
Yeah.
But then, again,
with their 2-star players.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Christian McCaffrey trade, they got some decent picks for him, but Christian McCaffrey is one of the best players in the league. Yeah. You probably could have got more.
Hey man, don't disrespect Clifford Franklin, okay? All right. Clifford Franklin is looking for a new hoe. You better respect him.
He doesn't get open as much as Cliff.
Nah, Cliff is always open. He just can't catch it.
But you're out here drafting guys because they're athletes, not because they can play football. You know, he's done that multiple times on the defense now, and they're just
Johnson.
not panning out. And DJ Johnson was a trade up in the 3rd round. You know, you're taking a flyer on a guy who's never shown that he can play the position. It just doesn't make any sense. Like you went after Hayden Hurst to be your starting tight end. Why? For what? You know,
For what?
You know, DJ Chark and Adam Thielen. Like, I didn't mind the Adam Thielen signing. I like the Adam Thielen because I assumed he had more left. DJ Chark I wasn't thrilled about, but it's like, hey, okay, you got DJ Chark,
A depth piece,
but
they're
not aggressive in going after a number 1 wide receiver, which they just traded away to get Bryce Young to begin with. So I don't know.
Right there,
I'm not
Brodny.
real confident in
right there
in
when you
his
say he's
ability.
bad at trades.
Mhm.
Ryan Poles is coming calling you like, I want the number 1 pick, and Ryan Poles is like, here's what I want. I want this, and you said, sure, you can have my 1st round pick and my star receiver. You should have been like, you know what, Ryan? Okay, I get what you're trying to do, but you either you get one or the other. I'm not giving you both.
Well, because the story out there was, oh, well, we're not going to do it without DJ Moore, and I'm like, okay, I know what you're not going to do is sit at 1 and use that pick.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Yeah,
you're not drafting a quarterback. You're trading the pick. So no, you're not getting.
you have no leverage. You like the person holding the number 1 pick. You don't have leverage. Like, who are you going to draft? You ain't got no leverage.
Because the talk was that Houston was interested in moving up, but they wouldn't pull the trigger, and then Carolina just agreed to whatever Chicago wanted. And it's like, look, I understand the desperation after. You went through Bridgewater, you went through Darnold, you went through Baker, you drafted Matt Corral, and obviously that didn't work out. So you're desperate to find that guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't sell out everything.
No.
Like, listen.
Hey man, it's like the 3rd time Deshaun Watson's done a face mask. Jesus Christ.
That game still going on?
Yeah, it's still going on, but it's like the 4th time he's done it. And they finally called the flag on him.
But if you believe that is your guy, right? Do whatever it takes, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If you believe, but you got to be right, because there are 3 quarterbacks that were available that I think one would have landed to you. And we talked about Anthony Richardson going to that
3,
right? So trade to 3. Get
and that's the thing, because that's really the problem. You didn't have to get to 1.
No,
you didn't have to get to 1 to get Bryce Young, because it was out there that Houston preferred CJ Stroud. So you didn't even have to get there to get your guy, but he's bad at negotiation.
Also, too, like there was a report that there wasn't like heated arguments, but like there was disagreements on who certain people wanted in the organization. Some people wanted Anthony, some people wanted Bryce.
You're gonna have that, and that's fine. But
no, but I'm saying, Jose, like if your backup plan is Anthony Richardson, that's a good backup plan.
But listen, it needs to be who the coach believes in, right? Yeah. You can't, because you just hired Frank Wright, so you don't want to get somebody that he's like, I don't believe in the guy, right? That's not going to work, whether he can play or not. So it has to be a guy that he believes in. But listen, you go to Frank and be like, is Bryce Young the only one that you think can work out? And you better not say no, or yes. You better not say yes. That there's the only one. Like, give me some other names or whatever. Give me some other options just in case. And listen, you gotta call Chicago's bluff a little bit. Say, look, this is what we're offering you. Take it or leave it. Right?
Who was 3? Do y'all remember who 3 was?
Will Anderson.
Houston traded back up to 3. Got it.
Yeah.
But who was 3 initially? Arizona.
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah. So I mean, but it's over and done with. You have Bryce Young there now. You're missing a lot of talent, man. There's no more Chris McCaffrey. There's no more DJ Moore. Right.
I'll say is this: if Bryce Young pans out, no one cares about that trade, right? No one cares about that trade. Because here's the thing. Here's an example.
Cares if they build the team back up.
Yeah.
No one cares.
My thing is this, man. Y'all remember how much Atlanta traded for Julio Jones?
A lot.
They traded a king's ransom to Cleveland. Cleveland messed up all the picks. That's correct. And Atlanta technically won that trade, but no one cared about that trade when Julio Jones I hit getting 300 yards in a single game. You know what I mean? Sorry, Brodny.
You never care,
Sorry.
and
Sorry.
I mean they gave up too much, quote unquote, right? But nobody remembers that.
No one cares.
Right.
No one cares
Right.
at all.
Nobody remembers how Patrick Mahomes ended up at Kansas City.
Dude, yeah, because
They weren't drafted high enough to get him. They traded it up to get him, right?
Yeah, they traded up to 12.
Yeah.
2 picks before Deshaun went to Houston at 14.
No, Deshaun went at
12.
He went at 12 and they traded up to 10.
10, yes. So yeah, and Kansas City was in like the 20s. So they jumped up like I think like they were like 23. They jumped up like 13 spots.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we have our guy. I want that dude. And when Andy Reid is saying that guy's Brett Favre,
Yep,
but
you're right.
better.
Cam is 10.
Yeah, you're right. And then when Andy Reid's saying that's Brett Favre and he's better, you go get that guy. And Brett Veach was like, I'm gonna go get that guy for you. And that's what they did. They went out and got that guy. Because that's a high praise from Andy Reid saying he's Brett Favre but better. I want him.
No, K-Wick, they're not picking up another quarterback next year. First of all, they don't have a first round pick. Second of all, you don't give up on you don't give up on a number 1 overall pick after a year.
And listen, he was in college with all of those guys. He was the best quarterback in the country.
Yeah. And no offense, like even if let's say he actually could have stayed 1 more year, and if he was in this draft, he would be like quarterback 1 or 2 in this draft next year. It's not like he falls down like 7th.
Yeah,
like he's right up there.
Chicago ain't getting Caleb Williams either.
Unless they give up on Justin Fields.
Yeah, y'all overreacting to 2 games, man. Like it's a bad start, but you have 15 more games, and they're not giving up on Justin Fields just like that. First of all, they're not going to be bad enough to be in that position.
No, okay, wait. The Cardinals had Josh Rosen. That's not who Carolina has.
Yeah.
That's why they drafted him as a quarterback.
Also, too, the new coach that Arizona's hired was like, I want Kyler Murray. I don't want him.
Right. So that's the thing. When a change like that happens, the regime changes too. The current regime don't want that to happen, right?
Yeah, because it's their guy.
Yeah.
That's why Chicago may happen because this new regime didn't draft Justin Fields.
Look, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, but they'll be fired if they have to change quarterbacks.
Yeah, if they don't turn things around, they're going to look to move on. I just don't think they'll be picking high enough to get Caleb Williams.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Unless they package their 2 first-round picks to go up and get Caleb Williams.
I don't think it matters. I think Arizona's going to have that pick, and Arizona's going to take him.
Okay, wait. Reich is making it to next year. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, man, he wasn't like I understand Indianapolis. He's an Indianapolis fan, but Indianapolis gave him like four years. I don't understand why right here just firing. And he made the playoffs like 2 out of those 4 years. I'm very confused here.
Yeah.
Right? Was I wrong? Did he not make the playoffs twice in Indianapolis?
Who?
I'm not. I can't remember how many.
I remember the Phillip Rivers year.
Yeah.
The Phillip Rivers year. No.
He was supposed. He made it before because he was there with Andrew Luck. He made the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
And things went south when they gave him Carson Wentz and Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan as his quarterbacks.
Yeah. And then Andrew Luck retired, and they replaced him with Jacoby that 1 year. Then they replaced Jacoby with Phillip following it. You got it. Yeah. And they almost beat the Bills. Like I said, they almost beat the Bills. It's just that their quarterback couldn't pass it. He fails at motivating guys. Really?
Yeah. Chris said Chicago front office didn't draft Fields. I can see them moving on if Fields stinks it up and they have a top pick. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be picking that high. I know they're off to a bad start. I just don't think Caleb Williams obviously I think is a top guy. You have
Drake May.
Penix.
And then Michael. I like Michael Penix Jr. Personally, I think he's QB3.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, we'll see how they finish, but you got
wait to Colorado, Washington.
Arizona, Denver. I saw that somebody put Denver in the chat.
Denver.
They're gonna be looking for a quarterback.
Who needs a quarterback? Because next year it's like the quarterback group is like 6 deep. There's 6 quarterbacks that people are really high on, like first round grade type shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
who needs a quarterback?
There's
Like,
a few.
Who needs one?
The Jets.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you think about it, like we can name the teams who don't need one, like Philly, Baltimore, Cincinnati,
Washington
Kansas
will
City.
need one.
So those 4 don't need one.
Yeah.
Houston, Carolina, Indianapolis. They're not drafting one because they just drafted them. That's 7 teams don't need a quarterback.
You was going through the NFC?
No, I have some AFC teams too. It was like Baltimore, Cincy, Kansas
Cleveland.
City.
Cleveland.
Well, I don't know, man. You know,
they can't get rid of him. His contract is fully guaranteed.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
So the entire AFC North, throwing Kenny there, I guess. Kansas City, Carolina, Indianapolis, Houston, because they just drafted their quarterback. That's 8. Chargers, Miami.
Yep. Buffalo,
that's 11.
Apparently New England.
New England is 12, maybe.
Philly, New York, Dallas.
Philly, New York, Dallas, because they're stuck.
Probably Washington.
Jaguars.
Wait, Washington needs a quarterback, or they
don't need a quarterback?
So did you go through the AFC South? Jaguars.
Yeah. The entire AFC South don't need a quarterback because they have their quarterbacks.
Yeah. No, Tennessee needs a quarterback.
Oh, Tennessee, yeah. Oh, Tennessee needs one.
Whether or not they realize it.
Yeah.
49ers, they're not gonna be just to get one.
Yeah, dude, Kyle Shanahan, okay, my brother's a Niners fan, and he showed me something. The Shanahans are not very good with developing quarterbacks.
No,
they're not. They're god awful because I realized something.
Oh my God! What
happened?
That's a
Jeremy said T.J. Watt just got a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
I just saw it right there. Yeah.
And in case you all haven't heard, Pat Mahomes redid his contract and got $210.6 million guaranteed over the next 4 years.
Nice.
And people, if I see one more tweet from Warren Sharp that says the salary cap's real, I'm gonna finally respond to him and be like, no, it's not. Stop talking, because it's not real, bro.
Yeah. He said, I'm gonna finally respond to him and be like, no, sir, it is not. And he's not gonna see it.
No, he's not gonna see it, but like you keep saying that stupid.
Mute your camera for a second. It's freezing up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because he keeps tweeting it out like, oh man, the Saints lost a player. Oh, they lost one player? Oh my God, they lost Chauncey Gardner-Johnson because they didn't want to re-sign him. It's not because they lost him because they couldn't pay him. They didn't want him anymore. There's a difference. It's not real.
That's exactly it, K-Wig. Is what you try to say all the time. He says the salary cap is like the speed limit. Exactly. And it is. It's real. It's real when the owners want it to be real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chris says he thinks TJ Watt is good. I think you're onto something, Chris.
We'll talk about that next Monday, Chris. Come on.
Absolutely.
I think he'll have a nice career, that TJ Watt fella.
Yeah. No. Yes.
Warbone, the New York Giants are not going to need a quarterback. They do need a quarterback. That's not a future thing.
But they're not. They're not getting one.
We're not going to be drafting high enough to do it.
You just paid your quarterback. You're tied to him.
That's real optimistic, Ferris.
Yo, man. Hey, man. 2 games ago, I'm out here looking up. Hey, man, I'm looking up if Caleb Williams lacks New York. All right, so calm down. Give me a minute. And you know what, man? I saw like a reporter named Al. I like Al Stapleton. He's a very good reporter. Him saying like, oh man, y'all got tweets criticizing the Giants. Y'all better delete them. No, I'm not going to, because they played like shit in the first half. They played like shit. They did. Everyone saw it. I saw it. You saw it. My mama saw it. Your mama saw it. Your grandmama saw it. They played like shit. And I don't know what happened at halftime.
I told you what happened. Nothing. They were playing the Cardinals.
That's what I'm saying. The Giants went to halftime and said, "Oh my God, we're playing the Cardinals. What are we doing?
The Cardinals
Let's go win the game."
The Cardinals went into halftime. They're like, "Guys, what are you doing?"
Exactly.
We should not be up.
Yeah, well, he's a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro. I'm not gonna delete the tweet that criticized the Giants in the first half because it was a factual statement. Y'all sucked.
Y'all better delete them tweets after they finally scored after 6 quarters.
That's what I'm saying. No, Like, and then saying like, oh, the people who criticize the team are not real fans. Yeah, they are real fans. They're just not gonna cow tip and suck you off every time you do something.
Okay.
You played like shit. You played like shit. Okay.
I don't know why you put cow tipping together with suck you off. That wasn't great. We're gonna move on from the Giants rant.
You didn't have to point it out. I kept flowing. If you didn't point it out, the flow would have kept going.
Yeah, but I don't know what other terrors are lurking in the flow. That's why we had to put a stop to that.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Good point.
Thank you, Chris. Language, Ferris. Language.
I just said shit. That's it.
That is disgusting, Ferris. Thank you, Hendo.
Can you say that on ESPN, Ferris?
No, you can't. That's not.
Ferris one day will end up on one of the mainstream media networks. He'll become our mortal enemy. Okay. And we'll be waiting for the day, because one day he's gonna be the model of professionalism, and then one day he's gonna slip up. He'll be like, "F that guy."
I'm just gonna talk about Lamar Jackson just to drive up my traffic.
That's really nice, Warbone. He said, Ferris, you're in his prayers. That's much nicer to Ferris than his actual Cowboys friend
who just laughed in my face.
Warbone, if you haven't seen it, Warbone, listen. Ferris has a show called Good Friends, Better Rivals over on Let's Get Ready, the highlights.
Yes.
And you need to go over there and watch the stream from last week, because the other co-host, Caleb Ochoa, he is a Cowboys fan, and my man laughed for an hour straight.
He didn't even insult me, bro. He just laughed. Because I'm like, that's all we can do.
I've never seen. I'll tell you what. I've never seen a happier, more confident Caleb than that night.
Hey man, I like Bobby Okereke, K-Wick. He actually starting to play better now. Paris Campbell, he's had a couple of drops that I'm not a big fan of, and I personally think he's gonna get. Yeah. I personally think Paris Campbell is going to be the odd man out, because when they start phasing in Jalen Hyatt a little bit more, it's going to be Hyatt, Waller, Isaiah Hodgins. Those are going to be the trio.
You're really not going to stop this Isaiah Hodgins thing, huh?
Hey man,
you know they're going to draft or sign another receiver, right?
It's fine. He can be he's a solid number 3 possession receiver.
Okay, if you say so, bro.
No, because Jalen Hyatt's supposed to develop into our number 1.
Yeah, if you say so, bro.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
The end of the New York Giants segment of the show. Segment never actually happens on the show, because I'm not actually on the show.
And look at them numbers dip.
Yeah, they just dip. Yeah. So I got to make it entertaining.
Ferris, that's for you. Don't lie.
All right.
Man, come on, Malik. Don't do me like this, man. Don't do me.
All right. Final thoughts on the Panthers before we get out of here.
Answer the question, Ferris.
I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
That pains him. He's like, yes. I don't think so. Oh, yes.
Yeah, man. I swear to God, bro. Nah, because like here's my opinion on the Hall of Fame, Malik. It's all like it's a sham. It's crap. It's bullshit to me. It's meaningless. When you're telling me that Don Coryell, the man who you're telling me Don Coryell, the man who changed the NFL, changes the NFL.
Wait, pause one second. Pause 1 second. Okay, wait. I appreciate you. Anybody that's I should have mentioned that. Anybody that's new here, hit that subscribe button. We do a live stream every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. That is the LBHT show. B is a Panthers fan. I'm a Ravens fan, so we talk a lot of Ravens and Panthers on there. But we also talk about news from around the NFL, as well as some NBA news if there's some news to talk about, and combat sports. All right, so it's a lot of fun. Check it out. Also on our Patreon at patreon.com/LBHTShow. Right there, we do an overtime show where we talk about stories that we didn't get to talk about on the main show. It's not always sports related. A lot of times it is, but we try to make it fun. It's a good time. So if you have as little as $5 in your pocket, you could be a part of that. Patreon.com/LBHTShow. But I appreciate the sub, man. Thank you.
Well, G, you're correct. He's gonna go in. There's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame right now that shouldn't be Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Built
And
hard.
we have a loyalty point system.
Terrell did.
You just got loyalty points for subscribing.
Yes.
Whoever leads in loyalty points at the end of the month gets a prize. Ferris still needs to let me know what he wants for his
Oh,
prize
my
for
bad.
last month.
Sorry.
And then we do a random drawing for everybody who has at least 1,000 points in the month. So K Wick, you're now at like 570. So if you get to 1,000, you'll be in the drawing. We give away a $25 Amazon gift card at the end of the month. And then so the other ways you can get points, just being in the live stream, interacting. You can go to LBHTShow.com and subscribe to our newsletter. That'll get you 1,000 points right there. You can submit questions on our community tab for the Wednesday show, and then we do a trivia question every week, and the top or the first 3 to answer correctly get points as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'll be better for you.
Chris said, I'm still thinking about subbing. I'm not a fan of Ferris's salty language, though.
For the record, Chris, I'm not a part of the show. I'm just a guest. I don't show up on the show.
Listen, Chris he's part of our roundup crew. We
that's Chris.
That's Chris. Yes.
Oh,
right. Chris, it's Chris. Oh, what?
I know, man. No, because I know him as Chris just joking. I didn't know that was his last name, but threw me off.
Yes, and you can find Chris just joking on the Deep Cover Pod. All right. Yeah. you can find Chris right there, right? He'll have you cracking up just like that. All right. He's a Ravens fan, but every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're on Coach's channel, Sip to Tally Films. That's where you can find all of us, minus Ferris. You find Ferris in the chat. But us, Chris is joking, Coach Evans, OTR Mike, and Hendo from the Road Pod, we do a Ravens roundup every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. All right. But yes.
Got any of those lunch break points?
Chris is cracking up. All right. Final thoughts on the Panthers.
I believe in Bryce Young.
Yeah, me too. What's up?
We were having a good time. I don't know. You had to bring it back here, but
that's what
I think if they can get 1 or 2 wins before the bye week, they're going to be all right coming out of the bye. And no, Warburton, I was just joking. Obviously, they're not going to beat the Cowboys, but the rest of that schedule coming out of the bye is pretty soft. So if they can make a move, or like I said, just get a couple of wins over these next 4 weeks, I think they're going to be all right coming out of that bye. And like Ferris says, definitely believe in Bryce Young. He's going to be the real deal.
Yeah.
Also, too, at least you're not like the Steelers who just tried to run power eye with their quarterback. So think about that. That's for y'all.
But no, I echo what B says, man. Work in progress. They need to work on the protection, and they will fix a lot of those things. They have an excellent coaching staff, and I think O-line, they have the pieces. They got they got to get together. Skill positions, they just don't have the talent there. They have to get better there. That's something that you can fix if you don't want to wait a whole year. There's some things that they can make happen now. They have to be a little aggressive, but they can do it. So we'll see what they do. But no, it's not all doom and gloom, man. It's only 2 weeks. I know you were down 0-2 in the division. It's a weaker division though, so you can still.
There's L's coming for all of them.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you can still catch up.
We know what Mr. Mayfield is about.
Yeah.
Kellen almost won the division last year at 7-9 with PJ Walker at quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam Darnold too. All right.
Oh, well, also to Houston Roughneck Intelligent, PJ Walker.
All right, Ferris, let the people know where they can find you.
Guys, every Friday, 3:00 Pacific, live or pre-recorded is Good Friends, Better Rivals. We talk NFC East, Giants, Cowboys with my co-host, a little bit of Eagles and Commanders, and just overall general news as well on the sports show.
All right. That's it. We're almost at an hour. The Steelers-Browns game is almost done. I heard Nick Chubb he looks like he's done. He's finito. That sucks. I had him in one of my fantasy football leagues, and I really needed him. And that's a wrap. But that sucks for him in real life because, injuries suck. And and the Browns are going nowhere without Nick Chubb. I just go ahead and put it out there right now. Deshaun Watson, again, I don't want to overreact. It's too early to overreact, but Deshaun Watson looks awful. I think I think the Browns are back. The old Browns are back.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be a terrible team.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming through, man.
Appreciate you,
All right,
Chris.
Chris.
But yes, tune in Wednesday for the LBHT show. We might put out a video or two beforehand. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. All right. But B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
He is ready. Thank you very much. Ferris, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. All right.
Appreciate it, guys.
Panthers Nation, keep your head up. It's going to be growing pains, but I think you have a very bright future ahead of you. So keep hope alive. But that is it. We are out of here. See you next time. Peace.
We're still live.